Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, bringing you an expanding library of education with even more ways to sharpen your trading skills. Access new online courses, insightful webcasts, articles, engaging videos, and more, all curated just for traders. Plus, guided learning paths with content designed to fit your unique interests. No sifting to find exactly what you need, so you can spend your time learning to trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading. Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized support than ever before. Like access to the trade desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle anything from the most complex trading questions to a simple strategy gut check. Need assistance? No problem. Get 24/7 professional answers and live help, and access support by phone, email, and in-platform chat. That's how Schwab is here for you, to help you trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
Welcome crew, guys, gals, ghouls, friends, fiends, foes, whoever may be listening out there beyond the Omniverse. Climb aboard the mothership, secure your tinfoil hats, and buckle down tight as we soar off through the skies, over the rocky tops of the La Platas, through the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here this evening with me. If you want to listen to our show in your free time, feel free to listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast, and feel free to catch up with past episodes as well as videos. So some of them are audio, just audio from Spreaker, and a lot of them are video. But I do have a treat for all my guys and gals out there tonight. Tonight, we will be talking to and getting to know Dr. Christopher Macklin. And Dr. Christopher Macklin is a powerful channeling medium and healer from England. He utilizes divine healing techniques cultivated to help people recover from all types of illness. Crystal is able to heal many people simultaneously with rebalancing the body's energy field by clearing chakra points and cleansing the body's meridian field by removing blockages and negative energies. For more info, you can go to www.globalenlightenmentproject.com. And Christopher was born as a highly aware psychic child in Chester, England. Christopher Macklin was able to perceive energy fields, spirit activity, and multidimensional phenomenon from a very young age. Today, Christopher works with thousands of clients a month internationally, and he provides a full range of healing services that address a spectrum of physical, mental, and emotional issues, and has developed protocols for challenging illnesses such as Lyme's disease, Morgellons, Agent Orange, bioweaponry attacks, emotional disorders, chronic depression, bipolar, etc. He and his wife Amanda have founded the Global Enlightenment Project to serve in awakening humanity and to support the healing needs of people all over the earth. He lives with his wife Amanda at their center in Branson, Missouri. The whole person and their whole life are treated there for relationships and families, and loved ones can also be repaired and restored. And he's also got some books out, Centering the Mind, Healing of Chronic Stress, Anxiety, and Depression, as well as History, Truth, and Healing, HIV/AIDS, Agent Orange, Gulf War Syndrome, Morgellons, and Lyme disease. I'm super excited to have you back. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us tonight, Dr. Macklin.
Bless your heart. Thank you for having me on. It's wonderful to be here. Bless your heart.
So, it's very humid here, and we generally don't have that. How is the humidity out there in Missouri? I can only imagine.
It's been raining a lot, so it's been pretty bad actually. It's been quite hot, quite humid, and then it's gone cool today. So yeah, that's a blessing. It's been in the sort of 65, 70s, so it's better than 110 or something. So, oh, bless you.
Yes. All right, so the topic that we're talking about tonight to me is just very intriguing. Last time we covered AI and aliens, I believe. Tonight we're doing angels, aliens, archons, as well as grays. I don't even know where to start with this. Where would you like to start?
It's a vast topic. Well, it's interesting because if you go to looking at angels, the Time magazine, it was, what's the date? 27th of December, 1993, and they found that a very large percentage of the population actually believe in angels, which is a good thing, actually. So, but you have to look at angels. What are they? Off-planet beings. Why are some angels and some are not? There's obviously malevolent beings. There's benevolent beings, and then there's also beings that hold a high, even some of these beings hold a high vibration, but don't hold the love that they need. So to me, an angelic being is when they've got absolute love, they've got high vibration, and they're completely there for you. I mean, the definition of an angel really is defined as like a spiritual being that, depicts a divine message and connects to you. A lot of people have spirit guides, and they normally protect you in whatever way they can. Obviously it's a free world, but when asked, they will come in and protect you. So yeah, and a lot of people have got visual presences, or they can feel the presence around them. So it's quite profound. So, and there's been a lot of apparitions all over the world of seeing people like Mother Mary, Archangel Michael. So yeah, so that's the difference. It's interesting.
I've talked to some people recently that have the belief that fallen angels could actually be aliens. Do you find any truth in that? And what is your theory on that?
Well, there can be alien beings. And what's an alien being? It's alien to your planet, to your country. So to me, I believe even the angels and, the fallen ones, they're all alien beings. They're in a different dimension. And some people have the gift to see them. I mean, I get visitations. I get Mother Mary come into the room sometimes. She's the mother of the Melchizedek beings, the 5 that are down here. And she talks to me, and she's standing, like a ghost-like figure, but, and she talks. They basically talk through telepathy, and, they give you information when you need it, and it's really good. I remember she came and said, your wife's car, you need to get rid of it. I said, why? Just get rid of it. You don't need it, now. Okay. Changed it for another one. Don't know what was wrong with it, but, I always listen. I remember being in India, and I went out to McLeod, came back. Funny, I'd never met the Dalai Lama. I wonder why. Well, that's another story. But anyway, he was over here. I came back, and I went to the northern camp, the Tibetan northern camp of Delhi, waiting for the aircraft, and I got this profound message: you need to delay your flight by 3 days. Why? You need to delay your flight by 3 days. Why? Just do it. Okay, I'll delay the flight. So, and at the time, I was kind of bankrupt, had no money, and so I put the flight 3 or 4 days later. On the day it's supposed to take off, it never made it. It went to the end of the runway and blew up and killed everyone on board. And I thought, okay, that's why you said change the ticket. Thank goodness I did. So yeah, you never know what messages, and to me, I would encourage everyone out there, if you get a message and it's overwhelming, like you really need to do this, then I'd suggest doing it. They'll only tell you 3 times, and if you don't respond, they'll say, okay, it's on your head, and so.
Almost ready. First round of fireballs on me.
You called?
Who are you?
I'm the Fireball Dragon, and I'm here to grant you 3 wishes.
Really?
Hell no! I'm here to torch your tonsils and make tonight a night to remember.
What is even going on right now?
You're in a radio commercial.
Wait, I'm in a commercial?
Ignite the night with Fireball.
What is going on here?
Please drink responsibly. Whiskey with natural cinnamon flavor, 33% alcohol by volume, produced by Cesar Co. Louisville, Kentucky.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, it's been very interesting.
Yeah, that's very intriguing. That reminds me of one of my family stories. I did witness a woman wearing black clothing and older, like I would say early 1800 shoes and a black veil. And that was about a week before my mom passed. My sister, come to find out, had seen it much earlier, and it was in her room. And like you said, she told her 3 times, close and lock your window. And of course, she's like, I think a tween. She's like 12 years old at this point. And like you said, she asked. And the 3rd time, the voice was not angry, but more persistent. Just close and lock your window. And so she told, yeah, just close and lock your window. So she went and told my mom, and my mom's like, yeah, just do it. Close and lock your window, and we'll, look around tomorrow and see if anything, has happened. And lo and behold, very next day, we lived off like a bend of a highway in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. And somebody had come off the highway and tried to break into my sister's window. There was evidence of footprints and pry marks and stuff like that. So had she not listened and not closed and locked her window, who knows what would have happened.
Exactly, yeah. It's always worth listening. If you get those, even sometimes people don't hear it, they just know it, like you should do this. And if you get this all knowing, then you need to be paying attention, I believe, because that's why they're there. They're there to help you. So yeah, it's happened a number of times for me. So one day I just felt like something was watching, and they were. What's interesting is that, being a non-for-profit, I felt like it was authorities, and I can feel it within 2 miles, what's going on. So I've got a very high-level person in the military, and I phoned him up and I said, someone's watching. He said, let me make a couple of phone calls. And he said, well, it's the FBI. They're checking you out to see whether you're a cult or not, I said, oh, well, we're not. So, anyway, he said, I'll check in 7 days, make sure everything's all right. And he did, and everything was fine. So, that was in 2021 where they were checking every non-profit or, anybody who spoke about anything, they were checking them all out. So yeah, my intuition's pretty sharp, and, I always use it. I think it's so important to try and use it. And navigate your life with it, good.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. A lot of people call it their gut instinct, which I think it could be either. It could be, like you said, an impression from a higher being or whatnot, or it could just be your internal instincts. Something's going to happen. I don't know. Kind of like deja vu also is another thing.
Yeah.
Is that something that, is like a revelation that you had before and you don't quite remember how it ends? Or is that, a vision that was given to you from a higher being? It's really hard to say.
Well, I think deja vu, you can have timelines that repeat themselves sometimes, and you end up on that timeline. I think I've been here before, and you can't quite remember the whole story. And as it plays out, oh, this has happened before. The same sort of timeline, but it's at a different. It's in the future type thing, It's amazing. Yeah, deja vu is happening a lot now because all the timelines are converging, and if anyone's noticed, time's kind of jumping. I mean, it only seems like yesterday since it was Christmas. I mean, Christmas didn't feel like Christmas because we were on the wrong time. We didn't actually celebrate that. I thought, oh, this doesn't even feel like, because normally we love Christmas time. I'm not a Christian. I believe in one God, many paths. But Christmas is a family time, I think, to come together and celebrate. And it just didn't feel like it. So this year we didn't really do much, And then suddenly from Christmas, we're in June. It's kind of jumped. And then if you look back at 2019, there's old timelines that are fading out at the moment. But since 2019, it all changed. So it's almost like, I look back on the last 4 or 5 years and think, what did I do in 2022? And I actually don't have a clue, because it's almost like it's jumped to now, It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I've noticed that too. I thought it was just me. I'm just over here losing my mind. Because my doctor asked, like, well, when did that start? And I'm like, oh, maybe a year ago. And then I look back at my records. And I'm like, that was in 2020. Like, holy shnikes, that's been 5 years. I mean, like you said, it seems like just last year, just yesterday, certain things. I don't know. It's insane.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it's interesting. I think time's sped up as well, because I feel like, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, till 1 p.m. And then I have Saturday and Sunday off, well, except we do the general group on a Saturday. But it's interesting because it seems to jump, suddenly you start on Monday and suddenly it's Friday. And you think, oh, okay, I'm off again. And then, you have the weekend, Friday afternoon's great. Saturday goes just like that. And then suddenly it's back to Monday again. It's crazy. But time's not linear and they're playing with it at the moment, there is no time really, but it's an interesting time. And I've also found that a lot of people are waking up more tired than when they went to bed because there's a lot of shifts in energies, the solar flares, the Schumann resonance. Our bodies are upgrading. Another thing I'm finding as well is that people have massive digestive issues where you almost can't digest anything. Anything you have, you can get acid reflux or feel blur, So, yeah, this timeline thing and the transition that we're going through at the moment is pretty profound.
Yeah. We've had tons and really, really big solar flares and solar storms recently. And like you said, the Schumann resonance is just off the charts, and there's earthquakes popping off everywhere, volcanoes erupting. And like you said, with us, we have our own internal things happening as well. It is a very interesting time, I believe, in history. And I don't think a lot of times before us have happened like this. Like you said, it's speeding up.
Yeah.
Or so it seems.
Well, it was good. It was all going pretty south, since the Babylonian times. Things have been put in place to enslave people and all this other thing. And I think this time, a lot of starseeds were chosen. Probably 1% of the population of starseed people. And they were kind of chosen. Most of them are angelic beings. They've been in a different dimension, like the fifth dimension or whatever dimension, and they've been called on to volunteer. Now, I always tell people, look, if God wants volunteers, run to the restroom, lock the door, and pretend you got diarrhea. quite important. So that's just a joke, by the way. But being down here, why did we get star seeds at this time? And they've been coming back for the last 4,000 years. And I think it's because basically you need people down here, because this is a planet of free will. It's a third dimensional world. We have complete free will. Even Prime Creator, created this third dimensional world, cannot interfere, because that was the rules of, like, the keys of the universe, like the keys of Enoch. So how do you get around it? Well, if you bring down here starseed people, some were spliced at birth, some were, depending on which starseed family you're from, like, for example, Palladians, you can get a Palladian soul in a human body. There's enough light body in it. But with Melchizedek and Arcturian, you can't. So what they had to do is basically agree with your mother beforehand or whatever, and they abducted the mother, seeded her with enough DNA of that starseed group, and then put her back down here, and then you can get the soul in. I mean, my DNA is slightly different. It's 84% Melchizedek DNA. So they can get the soul in, and the light body can be contained in this body. Now, why are they coming down here? Well, to get over the free will thing, they had to seed them down here, because if they can't do anything unless you ask. And so the whole point about people is, hey guys, can you come down here and give us a bit of a hand, because this place is nuts. I always joke with my clients and different people that, if you want a vacation, do not come to this planet. The place is nuts. Go to another planet where you don't have to buy anything. There's no money. You just relax there and enjoy yourself. But we came to do some work. I have a lot of people say, well, I'm bored of this planet and da-da-da. Bored? The place is nuts. How could you be bored? It's crazy. But we are being helped by a lot of alien beings. I believe all these beings are alien beings. If they're not from this planet, if they're not human beings, then they're alien beings. I'm an alien being, in a third dimensional body, basically.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, it's interesting. So the starseeds are here to help, but of course they know who's a starseed, the Anunnaki, Draconians, Luciferians, and they attack them relentlessly. And that's why a lot of people get spiritual attacks, so bad that it makes them so depressed, so it kind of nullifies them moving forward, so to speak.
Yeah, it was interesting. Looking at stuff, I'm kind of trying to educate myself before we did the show here. Archons, like, I've never heard of it before, Archons. And so I was looking into it, and from what I understand, it's like a sort of reptilian race that communicates through telepathy. And when I read that, I don't know, I feel like I did have an encounter about an hour or so away from here in Farmington, New Mexico, where there was a being that was darker than the dark in the room, and I couldn't move. And he telepathically said that he would have me, and I telepathically told him he wouldn't. And then he laughed, and when he laughed, you could see like his teeth were really sharp and bright, and he leaned down and kissed me, and that sent a shot through my canine teeth, up through my head, and then down to my toes. And once that happened, I could kick my feet, but I couldn't move anything else. And luckily, my husband woke up and saw him too, and pulled me away, and he disappeared. But I don't know, he didn't really have features, but he kind of did, and it did remind me of like more of a reptilian face than it would anything else that I'd seen before.
Yeah, they can take a form. I mean, the interesting thing, I mean, if you look at the beings that want to do us harm, malevolent beings, what have you got? You got Archons. Well, they can take a form, but they're actually they're not really, they don't have a body in a dimension. They float through the second, third, and fourth dimension. And if you look on Google, I don't know if it's still there, but if you look at the Archon Covenant, part of what's going on down here is the Archon Covenant. Let's manipulate them, make them sick, give them pills, enslave them, get them in fear, divide and conquer. Well, they're kind of doing a great job right now, sadly. But hopefully it'll all change. But the biggest thing is that the situation with, the jabs and things like that is that if you change someone's DNA with CRISPR technology, what happens is that your soul lifts out the body because it's not compatible with the light body. So it lifts out the body. So in come Archons and overtake the body. And they're very aggressive, of course. So that's why people who have taken those, ingested those, in quotes, bioweaponry, they become checked out, but they become more aggressive. But it's not them. It's an entity within them. And I take these things all the time. So you've got Archons, you've got Luciferians connected to the Vatican. I've talked a lot about the Vatican until they hit us with a low-frequency energy weapon, and then I kind of backed off because they melted my heart, the two cusps of my heart valve together, the aortic valve. And within 2 weeks, I got so sick. The problem is, because my body's a bit different, my heart is the size of a volleyball, and the valve is bigger than the one they have on the shelf for the average human being. So this guy was saying, well, I'm going to have to try and figure something out with this. And so he got the biggest one, and he reduced the hole, and he did open heart surgery last October because as a healer, I didn't have time to fix it quick enough because I was getting into a little trouble with it. So yeah, we had that surgery last October the 4th, and here we are. We're doing it again. So Luciferians are connected to the Vatican. Don't want to go into them too much because I don't fancy doing that again. Then you've got Anunnaki. What's the Anunnaki? I mean, Anunnaki's been here for a long time. They have manipulated the human race. A lot of human beings do have their DNA in them, reptilian DNA, because they call them the Nephilim, Anunnaki, whatever you want to call them, the big tall guys. When I was 4, it's interesting, 4 years of age, I was in my bedroom one night and, I saw this great big Anunnaki. It looks like a velociraptor, but they're about 10'7" tall. I said, Dad, there's a dinosaur in my room. And he comes running in. Where? It's there, Where? It's just a bad dream. Go back to sleep. And this thing was there. You can tell if it's real because you can feel the darkness, like with you with the Archon. You can feel the darkness. This is not good. And so anyway, from somewhere, I just must have, when my dad went downstairs, get out of my room. And it left. I thought, oh, wow, that worked. So I don't know where that came from. Yeah, from the angelic realm, like just tell it to get out because, again, with the keys of Enoch, which is the keys of the universe, it has to leave, So yeah, there's Anunnaki, the snake beings, there's all types of beings, really low-level beings like first and second dimensional entities, scarab beetle type things, octopus type things. You've also got... So we've got the Draconians, which are on Planet X, which is Naboo. And they're pretty dark as well. If they attach to you, they can make people sick. I would say, Tessa, 97% of people who come for healings, we work on about 3,000 people a week. It's a lot of people. And, most people who are new who come for healing are depressed and low vibrational, have got some form of attachment. And so, my job is like helping people. I'm nobody's guru. I don't believe in gurus. You are your own guru. Just, I'm here to help people get back to their guru self, And so the thing is, remove the entities, start releasing a lot of emotion, give them energy, and little by little, their vibrational heighten way above these beings, which means that, these beings can't even get near because they're low vibrational beings. And that to me is the solution to these low vibrational manipulative beings. I think the other thing as well pointing out, which I think is important, is that these beings, when people channel, they think they're channeling something, like Archangel Michael or whatever, so Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael's an ancient Palladian, but what's interesting is that these reptilians can get between the channel and they can block out what you're getting back. And the way they manipulate people is what they do is if you ask a question, like, what should I be doing? Oh, you should be doing healing. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, and, you should be marrying so-so. Oh, yeah, you're right. Then the third or fourth question, they give you 3 truths normally and 1 lie. Then they'll probably say to you some extreme like, well, you need to move to France and go and buy the house with the pink roof, red doors, and green garage door. What? And so by manipulating, you'll jump on a plane, you'll go to France, and some crazy person has painted the house that color. Here it is. Yeah, they were right. And what they've done is manipulate your life. They've taken you off your divine timeline. That's why it's always important to clear any channels, and I would say probably 96% of people who channel are channeling reptilian, not proper angelic beings. Really interesting. So always clear your channel. Really important.
I don't know. It was something to do with the Vatican. I don't remember if it was the last pope or the new pope, but in the throng there, as far as members of the popeship, I don't know what they're called, but they all wear, the big crazy hats and stuff like that. Some of them were indeed human, but some of them looked like lizardish or demonic or alien or something. Like they did not look human. Did you see anything that? Or can you back that up?
There's a lot of, Lucifer is actually under the Vatican. The Vatican worships Lucifer, like so do the Masonic Lodge people. So that's why, I always remember George Carlin. He said, he was brilliant, I think. He said, look, on this planet, there's a club. It's a very big club, and you're not in it. He's quite right. And this club is, they say they're elite. I don't think they're elite. They just got a lot of money because they've manipulated people. But yeah, you're not in it. And so, and they're all, the cardinals, the one that wear the hats and everything else. I think there's good guys and there's bad guys. There's a black pope, you never see. Sits under the Vatican, controls everything, and it's got all sorts of ancient devices. It's got the truth about the history of the planet, not the stuff they've just made up, because the history is quite different. We've had many wars, Syrian wars, Atlantis, and we've had all this technology before, and we fell because with this technology, I think, it's like giving a 2-year-old the keys to a Ferrari. How long is it going to last? Probably not very long. And so I think we weren't ready for it. I'm hoping this time round, we're ready. And that's why starseeds for the last 4,000 years have been coming back time and time again to train themselves for the now, because this world has profoundly changed. I don't know about you, Tessa, but you look back 20 years ago, I don't recognize this planet, at all. I look outside and are you sure I'm on planet Earth, or is it some weird spaceship that's,
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It really is. It's changed so much, I think.
And I definitely agree with the fact that our history is not really our history. Our history is written by, the people that win. And of course, they're going to write it the way that they want to. And I do believe the Vatican has miles worth of stuff that they're hiding from us, supposedly underground. Like, there's so much information and so much knowledge that they have that they're hiding from us that, I don't know. Would it be a good thing if we knew? I think so. I think that we'd be so enlightened, maybe we'd be at peace for, thousands of years or whatnot. But one thing that has come to mind recently that I discovered, Tartaria and the Tartarians. That's another thing that's been basically wiped off planet Earth. And there are a couple things that still remain that were built by them, but they were very, very advanced. And I believe they're in the Russian area. on the other side of the Great Wall of China, which I don't believe is the Great Wall of China. I believe that was built by Tartarians because the holes to, use their weaponry is pointing towards China and not the other direction. So I don't know. It's just pretty interesting.
I mean, the Tartarians had amazing technology. They had free energy. They had everything. Floating craft. They had everything. But I think, and it's been wiped. I mean, it's within the last 1,000 years, and it's been wiped out. And suddenly, just looking at things, and it again, if you read the history books, they don't resonate. It's like the Bible. There's lots left out of the Bible. If you look at, we've got it on our front page. If you look at the Lord's Prayer, the direct translation, it's a map. It's like a manifestation map of intent. It's incredible. It gives you goosebumps when you read it. So if anyone wants to read it, but what they did is dilute it to the powerless victim one. So you're manifesting powerless victim all the time. But this thing's like, it's incredible. It'd be worth reading. I think, if anyone wants to read it, I think we've got it on the front of our website, because I think it's, to me, prayers are mapped of intent, and I wrote a prayer book, with different things like protection prayers, clearing media, food prayer, and I was so proud of the food. Well, I shouldn't say proud. I don't like the word proud, but I was so excited because in Pennsylvania, there was one of the reservations there, and the medicine man, I was working with him. And he said, "We love this prayer so much. Can we use it on the reservation?" I said, "You know what? It'll be an honor." So he translated it, and I've actually got the translation somewhere here on a bit of old scrap cardboard. He translated the whole prayer, put it on the reservation, and they're using it because it's along the same lines of, when they kill an animal, they just honor it. They do a ceremony for it. This is doing it afterwards, but it's still blessing the soul of the animal and the plant that allowed our body nutrition and optimum vibration of food, removing any ungodlike particles, and all this sort of thing. So it really helps, especially at this time, because, everything's been poisoned. The food, the water, the air, you name it. We've got plastic in us. It's funny because going back to George Carlin, he had a little bit. He said, if the human race was wiped out, what would be left on the planet? Bit of styrofoam, bit of plastic here, and he said that'll be anything left. Plastic in our body, microplastics. It's I mean, no wonder we're all sick, or people are getting sick because of the toxicity, So really interesting. So that's a negative.
Yeah,
one.
They want it that way. Yeah, they want us to be sick. They want us to be divided. They want all these things to be happening to us because then we're weaker and we're easier to control.
Oh, yeah. One is depressed. I mean, like I say, people think, the politicians, the deep state, cabal, whatever you want to call them, these so-called humans, I think a lot of them are reptilian hybrids, but they're the problem. They're not the problem. The problem is actually under the planet, the Anunnaki, the Draconians who have come here. They're the guys who are controlling things. And like you said before, they can, if you've got an army, it's, say 10, 20 people with guns pointing at one of these reptilians, they've got a really powerful mind. They could just, and they'll just drop all their weapons. So that, we've got to train our minds to be just as powerful as theirs. We have the power. It's just that we don't realize it, Yeah.
And I think I was just going to say, I'm sorry, that I've heard people saying, as far as drawing power from yourself and becoming more powerful and more aware of your energies and your surroundings, meditation is a good route. And a lot of people say, like, they're not able to still themselves enough to do that. Do you have any pointers for them, how they can accomplish that? Any steps to get towards that?
It kind of takes a bit of work, People think, oh, I'm just going to meditate. Okay, I'm lying down here. Nothing's coming. And, people ask me, what was meditation? I said, don't listen to any meditation. Still the mind. How do you still your mind? Well, if you've got things on your mind, write them down before you meditate. Like, oh, I've got to go shopping. I've got to do this. I've got to get that window fixed. Write them all down and then get them out of your mind. So when you get into a place, relax and still the mind, in a still place, just let your mind go, in the ethers, and relax your body. And it's amazing what will happen, I mean, I would encourage people, if you feel as though you're a starseed, a lot of people are, even if you're not a starseed, it's worth meditating with your guides or starseed people. Meditate with your starseed family, because when I found out as a Melchizedek being, I went to Belize and I went to Chantovich, which is a Mayan temple. And I went up on top of that and I got visions and stuff in the sky and everything else. When I went back to the hotel, they created like this third dimensional video. Honestly, I was just sitting there. It's almost like a laser video thing in the room. And I was watching it and they said, this is your past lives. And they showed me, for the last 4,000 years, this is what you did. This is what you did. This is what you did. And I realized from that I'm meant to do healing. And it was incredible. And that changed my life. And after that, before that, I was meditating. Nothing was happening. And I thought, And then I thought, eventually I said to them, look, I'm going to stick with this for the long run. If it takes me 2 years to contact you, we're good, And I was meditating for probably 2 or 3, 4, 6 hours a day. And then one day, it just switched everything on. And I got downloads. I could see things. One day I was actually in London and I thought there was a leak. It was like a vortex of it looked like massive raindrops about kind of this big, just coming through the ceiling. What's that? And they said, oh, we're actually, it's energy. We're amping up your energy. And it lasted about 4 hours, but you could see them pure as day. It was incredible. And at the time I could do some incredible things. Can I do them now? I haven't tried because, what things you can perform to me is not a circus. You need them when you need them. And if you start going to events and showing people, they can shut them down as quick as they gave them to you. So it's always been important to me to just not create like a circus. When you need these things, you can do extraordinary things and stop things from happening. So yeah.
Would a good step to going towards that also be perhaps getting your chakras cleared?
Oh, yeah. That's why I do healing, because I think, a lot of people have got attachments. I mean, if we go to the extreme, think about people like Ted Bundy, serial killers. I got interested in a story because I wanted to see why a human being would chop up 36 women. It doesn't make any sense because there's love in human beings. And so I was watching the documentary, and the answer came at the end. And this guy went to interview him on death row, and he said, how would third party, somebody, and then he described the things he did. Oh, well, what you do is, and he explained the whole thing, relaxed, not a problem. Then he said, how would you do it? His eyes went absolutely black. He got really aggressive. And that shows you that the entity, he was completely possessed, And you often wonder, and I don't have an answer to this actually. For the laws of the land, if someone's completely possessed and you remove it, and then they're back to their personal self, where does that leave him? Because was it him who did the deed or was it the entity? And the answer is, it was definitely the entity's influence. So where does that leave people? The answer is, I don't know, In fact, I was going to go and talk to one of my local judges about that because I'm just intrigued to see what his perspective is. Not within the law, but what his perspective is like. If this happened, are they responsible for it? And the answer is, they didn't get any help. So is the responsibility of him but also the entity was responsible as well, who was controlling him, and that happens a lot. That's why people do crazy things, because they're completely possessed. And some of these entities are very dark. Like you were saying, they can take over your mind, they can paralyze it and get you to do things you don't want to do. It's a complete manipulation. So, but on the good side, we've got the great beings, the angelic beings. We've got a lot of people helping us at the moment. Who have we got? Well, we've got Palladians. They're angelic beings because they feel love. They've got a lot of love. Archons the same, a lot of love. And the Palladians, Archangel Michael is an ancient Palladian. The Archons are here to help us. They're doing a project with me at the moment in the 12th dimension, which is a pyramid project. And they work very closely with the Melchizedek beings. Then you've got Andromedans, you've got Lumerians, the crystal people. You've got lions, the cat people. There's many races who are here to help us. All we have to do is ask, So all you've got to do is ask, maps of intent again, the prayer, or whatever you want to call it. Use maps of intent all the time. Because people often say to me, well, we're not going to get anywhere. We're in a mess. We don't have the money to fight anything. And so you don't need that. All you need is, Prime Creator or God or whatever you want to call Prime Creator. All you need is God because, with a map of intent, you can create something, you can do something about something. Every 120 days, I don't know if I told you this last time, Tessa, but every 120 days we do a ceremony, a God ritual. What's a ritual? Well, first of all, we do a map of intent. And we have about 200 or 300 people and off-planet beings involved as well. And what we do is we go through every faction, like big agriculture, big tech, big pharma, all the deep state people in the governments all over the planet, the deep state bankers. We go through everything. And what we do is we bring them before God for justice and release them to God with unconditional love and forgiveness. What that means is that it weakens them. And then we reinstate that, like at 1 p.m. Central Time, second time at 1:15 p.m. Central Time, third time at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. And then we create the map of intent to reinstate that map of intent every day for 120 days, which creates a ritual. It's a continuous God thing, So, and that's a very powerful exercise. If anyone wants to do it, the next one I think is in, July. If you want to join, please join. The more people, the better. It's free to join. All we're doing is helping save our planet. Are we the saviors? Probably not. But any help, if we all do that, if we all do something, it's going to really help take down this satanic system that's going on this planet.
Yeah, a lot of people wonder, what can I do? I'm just one person, but together, we're a powerful force. And that's why they're trying to tear us apart and segregate us, separate us.
Oh, yeah, it's like the money system. If you refuse to use the money system, then they'd be in trouble. The money system, I don't know if people realize, I'm sure you do, the dollar bill's a debt dollar note. It's a promissory note, so promise to pay note. So you go and work 30 hours, and then they give you, say you earn $2,000, a week or a month or whatever. So, you work your 40 hours, they give you the money at the end of the month. Here's a debt of $2,000 that's got no backing, so we'll pay in debt. So you walk to the store with that debt, you're paying interest through the taxes. And then you go to the store and you pay for a chicken, $5, and you're passing the debt on. Hey, will you take this debt note? So, because I'm in debt, so, you can be in debt as well. So everyone's in debt, The whole system's just bizarre, How do we get to this place? And the answer is because the very crafty cabal, since the Babylonian times, really, all these Jesuit Rothschild people and Rockefeller, they're all in the same club. And they've created the Masons and, which is, of course, worship of Lucifer, same factions. They're all part of the club, and they created it because they just wanted to get wealthier off the poor old people, who are enslaved, having 3 jobs because you can't afford to live. Because the debt system, of course, it means that, if you're paying interest back, there's a massive deficit, and it just keeps growing and growing, so it's interesting.
Yeah, we're playing with monopoly money.
Yeah,
there's really no value to it.
Except you've got to tax the you've got to pay interest on it, you know, and it's in your pocket. You know, it's worthless. It's really funny.
No, you got to pay taxes on your own property. I mean, I don't know. It's ridiculous. And from what I understand, taxes are actually illegal. Like, that's one of the things that we, started the United States on. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, they first put a bill to actually tax people working for the government. And then what happened is that they took everyone's birth certificate and created a corporation, called it governmental, so they could tax everybody, which is actually illegal. You know, it is illegal. I mean, people have got away with it. You know, when they've been to court, they can't argue with it. They know this, but of course they're not going to tell you, you know, so it's really interesting. So I think things are going to change very quickly, you know. I think what's going to happen is I think the IRS is closed. They're going to take down the Federal Reserve, back it into the Treasury, and then, you know, there'll be no debt anymore because the private Western Central Bank or the Federal Reserve, well, the corporation that they created went bankrupt in 2020. And if no one believes that, have a look on, it was actually registered in England on Companies House. So if you go to companieshouse.co.uk and do a search for the United States of America Incorporated, you'll see it gone bankrupt, which means that the money that we supposedly borrowed, which we didn't, but the money was given to that company, is written off. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So we don't know anything. So it's and
then there's the whole crypto thing. Man, I still kick myself on that. I bought Bitcoin, $100 worth quite a while ago to buy certain things online, and tried to spend every little bit of it that I could because I figured I'd never use it again. And then, yeah, I think it was a year or two later, you know, everybody's becoming millionaires and billionaires. Like, man, I could have just had $5 left and I would have, millions and millions. But everything happens for a reason, and money isn't happiness. And I don't know, it just seems like it makes things easier, but I don't know. That could also be another blindfold over our eyes, something that they want us to believe, that money makes things easier when it actually tends to cause more problems.
Well, it does, because there's always an imbalance, you know, with money. If we went back to trading properly, you know, I mean, when I first got here, you know, I'd gone bankrupt. I absolutely hated money, hated the stuff, you know, and I couldn't charge people for the healings, you know. And so this pastor goes, look, I want to have a coffee with you. You know, she was in Branson at the Unity Church. She goes, I know you hate money. I want to have coffee. And, you know, I was just accepting like a chicken or, a lettuce or something. And I started thinking, how the heck can I make this work? Because I've got to pay the bills through, you know, these promise to pay or dollar bills. And she sat down with me and said, like, look, you know, she said, you accepted a lettuce, a few tomatoes, whatever. She said, so if you go to the electric company, can you pass that on? Like, take the chicken and tomatoes now? And she goes, well, how do you have to pay them? I said, with a dollar bill. And she goes, okay, so if you go to the hairdresser and get your hair cut, you know, which takes about 4.5 seconds. But if you go to the hairdresser, can you pay them with tomatoes? Maybe, but probably not. They want dollar bills. She goes, but what's the difference? You know, these things, even though it's a debt note, it's still an energy exchange that you can use and move on to pay bills. She says, what's the difference? It's just energy. And I thought about it. I said, yeah, you're right. You know, it's just an instrument. So I got over myself because, you know, doing all this work, you know, we've spent thousands of dollars on streaming systems and everything else. We have an IT person, you know, accountant, whatever. We've got like 10 staff. And, you know, you have to pay them because, you know, you can't pay them with a tomato or a lettuce or something. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, I quickly learned. But certainly they say money's the root of all evil. And I think it's just because people are greedy, you know, it's sad.
Yeah, the horrible things they can do with it. And I don't know, Bill Gates, he's always claiming he's doing these great things, but I feel like he's not, you know. He's trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. The things he's done in the past to people is really, really bad. And he continues to do it, even still today. And saying, oh, I'm putting millions of dollars out there for everyone, and this is how I'm doing it. Please don't. Take it back. I don't want it.
Well,
It's
these
just scary
vaccines are crazy.
what they're
They're
able to do.
bioweapons. Oh yeah, and they've got the money to do it. You know, I mean, I've worked with these bioweapons for 14 years, and these things have got Morgellons particles. They've got nylon in them. They've got a loaded nanosphere full of 92 viruses that's triggered by a frequency. People don't realize this. You know, these jabs. I'm seeing at the moment one of the viruses they loaded is cerebellar zoster, which is chickenpox. And I've had suddenly, you know, they've put the 5G frequencies on. And by the way, just reminding people, 5G doesn't work on the phones. The chips aren't in there, the 5G chips. The 5G network is a microwave oven. Now, think about this, you know, microwave ovens work at 2.4 gigahertz, something like that. This system works on 30 to 300 gigahertz. So what happens, what harm does it do if you switch it on? Well, basically, it starts to vibrate the water in your cells, and you start to actually release toxins too quickly. You know, you release toxins really quickly, so your heart rate goes up because your blood's trying to actually move the toxin. So a lot of people at the moment are getting problems when they switch different areas of the 5G on. You start to heat up because you know it's vibrating molecules, it's microwave oven, but also start feeling off and sick, you know, because the toxins are being released too quick. So that's another thing. All these things have been developed by the cabal, but one of Bill Gates's main, what he wants to accomplish, and I think he's finished now, to be honest, but what he wants to accomplish is actually spray the chemtrails so bad that it blocks out the sun on the premise of global warming. Well, the planet goes in a cycle. You know, it's not global warming at all. It takes care of itself, you know. Anyway, he wanted to block it out. And why is that? You know, global warming, well, it's not. It's because the reptilians down under the planet, you know, who live in massive caverns, massive cities, they can't breathe the same level of oxygen as we do. So the Anunnaki to come up, they can only be here for a short time. They have to go back down because they're ingesting too much oxygen. So when he actually, you know, covers the sun, you know, obviously the plant life will start dying off, the oxygen level go down, and then they can come up on the surface. And believe you me, we do not want them on the surface at all. They should just stay down there. You know. In fact, we should eliminate from the planet, you know. So, but yeah, they're very manipulative. So, you know, there's a lot of people doing a lot of horrible things. It's kind of sad, really, but it's what it is, you know. But we're more powerful than that. You know, we've got God on our side. And like I say, if everyone gets together, if we got the whole nation together and we started doing maps of intent, they just crumble. But, you know, you can never get that many people on, you know. I mean, we do this every 120 days. The most we've ever had is 4,000 people. Now we're looking at probably about 200 or 300, which is sad, you know, but it's what it is. All you can do is do your best, you know.
Well, yeah, and I think people are being drained and poisoned, and the Bill Gates thing, I don't know, I think he's on another level. Like before it was jabs and sterilizing people in Africa and stuff, and now he's buying up all these properties. Also, what is it with the seeds and stuff? Oh, I can't think of the word right now. All the timers is active, to where they're growing plants and stuff that if it even has seeds in it, will not grow for you. They only have the seeds that will grow for them to grow the stuff. And now he's pushing the lab meat, which I don't want. I don't want to eat that. So many different things, and even more jab.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing is make people transhuman, because the Supreme Court ruled that if anyone takes the jab, they're not a human being because the DNA's changed. You know, it splices chromosomes and everything else. And why did they do that? Well, because DNA, RNA, and immune system is all connected. So if you damage the DNA, that means the RNA is damaged. You know, your blood type will be changed, maybe not. But certainly your immune system with these jabs goes down to like 16%, which means that you've got no immune, you know. So if something else comes along, you have no fight in it, you know, and that's one of the problems with this. That's why people are getting cancer, because there's no immune system. They call it turbo cancer, you know, in quotes. there's a lot of things going on. We do have a protocol, just letting people know it's a 34-week program. It actually takes all this stuff out by timeline splitting. So split the timeline to and separate it. We put the particles and all these stealth pathogens on a timeline sun, and you go on a divine timeline, complete wellness. When your vibration's high enough, we invoke a DNA change where through psychic surgery, they can actually repair all the chromosomes, connect all the heats together, and reset the DNA of the first cell where life began, which has been the sacral point, back to the blueprint in the Akashic records, then the cells around it. We've worked on probably about 800 people, and it's got rid of everything, Agent Orange, Morgellons, Lyme disease, problems with the jab, so yeah. So there's some good things afoot. But it's quantum healing, of course. It's timeline and all this sort of thing. So, yeah.
I know that cancer rates are going up for young people. A lot of people that have taken the jabs. It's really, really bad. But it makes me wonder, I know if you get the jab, that causes all kinds of issues. That's just my theory. What about if you get sick with it? Will it still carry those pathogens and such that are going to harm your DNA, or is it only if you get the jab?
No, I mean, the pandemic was a pandemic. It was just, I worked with 500 labs, 1,600 aspirates of people who have died of, in quotes, COVID. All they ever found is influenza A or B. There's nothing else. It was just influenza. However, it was a bad influenza. They'd modified the coronavirus we found that the mucus is very sticky. So if you get this, modified influenza, people can't cough up the mucus. And so, but now it's just influenza A or B. The jab is causing the problems because if you get long COVID and all this sort of thing, what's that? Well, when you inject these things in, you damage the DNA, you've got no immune response. So the Morgellons particles have got nanotubes with CMOS complementary metal oxide transistor arrays in them that transmit receive frequencies. And if anyone wants to have a look at that, if you get your phone, go into developer mode. You'd have to figure out how to do it. Go into Bluetooth. And switch on, because it says just only, you've got two settings. Switch on identifiable Bluetooth devices, that means they're named, or switch on unidentifiable devices, so you get numbers. So we did this, we went around Walmart and, or different shopping malls, and there was 300 Bluetooth devices there, with numbers, and they're all the particles. So that's the tubes. The spheres have got, 92 viruses loaded. They're 10 to the minus 9 small. They're all triggered at a different frequency. So what we'll have to do is trigger the 5G particular frequency in gigahertz, and that'll release one virus. If you switch them all on, it'll release all the viruses, So, and it's also got hydrogel. It's got spike protein, HIV microinserts. The particles have Borrelia, which is a stealth pathogen Lyme attached to them. And they've also got bound to them plant material and nylon 3633. So if you look on the internet, if you look at undertakers, people who prepare dead bodies for a funeral, when they embalm them, they normally do it through the carotid. They're pulling squid out. That's nylon 3633. Your shirt is nylon 9. And you think, well, how the heck does nylon grow? Because it's nylon, And the answer is because the way they bind off-planet technology, they bind it. So a graphene sphere or tube, it's graphene, it's carbon. What do you need for growth? Carbon, oxygen, warmth, water, so they've got the moisture and it starts to grow in the body. It's the way they've bound it to the actual carbon, or the graphene itself. So yeah, these things are deadly, sadly, it's a bioweapon and no one needs to take it. So, it's just what it is.
Yeah, you talking about that reminds me, there's a doctor that I watched that's from the UK that has done so many different investigations on the effects of the jabs. And like you said, he's talked to tons of coroners that talked about having difficulties as far as trying to embalm people because of those white build-up thingies, and they pull them out, and it's like you said, it's like nylon. It's like stringy, stretchy stuff that just
things about nylon 36. It's got a
knocks
very
them out and stuff.
it's got a different consistency. It's like rubbery. It's not it's not like a shirt where it's nylon. It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
So plus people are getting myocarditis. There's 100 million people in this country with myocarditis, and it's not myocarditis per se. It's actually because the nanotech, starts growing through the heart muscle, and they just end up with a heart attack. Suddenly, just so many people are finding that and just dropping with a heart attack. So if you have taken the weapon, please get some help. I mean, come to us if you want to. It's up to you. I've worked on this stuff for 14 years. I'm not a medical doctor because they just practice medicine. I'm all about truth and finding solutions. You know what I mean? Because if you go to a medical doctor, I mean, after the operation I had, I went to a cardiologist and I said, "So you've seen a lot of myocarditis?" She goes, "I said, I know the hospital don't want you to tell me, but I want you to tell me the truth. You must have a ton of people with myocarditis." She goes, "Yes, we do." I said, "Okay." I said, "You know what it is, don't you?" He goes, "No." I said, "It's nanoparticles. Get yourself an electron microscope and have a look." "Oh no, we're not going to do that." So it's just interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a threat of losing their jobs and their livelihood. It's pretty crazy out there.
Yeah. Well, luckily,
and the young people too.
Yeah. Well, all the nurses are worried about anyone's worried about saying anything in a hospital. It's just ridiculous. And they actually told me, when I was in ICU, recovering from it, they said, "Do you want the COVID jab?" I said, "I want you to come over here." I said, "Basically, that thing's a bioweapon." I said, "If you inject me with that, I will call the sheriff's department immediately and have arrested for attempted murder." So I said, "Please don't put it in my body." He goes, "Okay, I guess that's a no then." I said, "Absolutely." And actually, I tested myself with the because sometimes they sneak it in, and I tested myself with the Bluetooth. And when we're in our house, there's no Bluetooth, so so that was good. So, isn't it crazy though? The things going on? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like sci-fi, fiction, but it's all real.
Oh yeah.
Like, how is this happening in our world? But yeah, we kind of got off. These are important things, I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, luckily the angelic beings, the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Lemurian, Atlantean, Andromedans, everyone's helping us, so that's a good thing. And they're doing a lot as well. People don't realize they're doing an awful lot. That's why there's so many ships seen in the sky, because they're taking care of the planets that's wobbling. They're working on ley lines. They're working on everything. So yeah, thank goodness we've got some good guys off planet to help us.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the difference is between guardian angels, spirit angels, and archangels?
I think guardian angels are loving beings. They can be, people who have passed over from your life, where they've gone to the fifth dimension, but they love you and they come back because of the level of love. They're angelic and they're helping to try and, keep you safe. They give you messages and everything else. So what's an archangel? Well, they're more evolved. Archangels have been around for many thousands of years. They've probably been born on this planet, just to sample it, and many different planets. And so they're very highly evolved. They've been in many situations and they're very powerful, of course. They've learned how to manifest things. So, if you get a massive problem, like with the thing in Delhi, Archangel Michael stepped in, so did Mother Mary, she's basically a Melchizedek being. So, and they can really help you, and they would stop something. I've had things start where they go, how the heck, why didn't that happen? And it's because they're, involved because I asked them to, so the free will thing is over because, guys, I want help down here. And so they come down here and help you. And people think they don't, but, if you really ask very powerfully, you'll find things will change. I see it every day. I mean, I work on so many people. Oh my God, I feel so much better. I tried this the other day, and God, it worked. I'm doing a lot better. I mean, to me, manifestation, I think, is a lot to do with surrender. I learned this because when I went bankrupt, I couldn't manifest anything. And then, when I came over here, I opened the office and things just started moving forward. And I got in this surrender place. God's got my back. Thank you, God, for all the things, even food on the table. And I think it's so important to be in that gratitude, surrender place, because once you're there, you're just going to manifest more of what you've got, which is incredible.
Yeah, and it's funny, people think prayer isn't working because they're not getting what they want, but what you want isn't always what you need,
Well, it's true, I mean, if you manifest, for example, if I said to God, well, look, God, I want to show off to everyone around town that I'm filthy rich and I want a Bentley, are you going to get one? Probably not. You better ask Lucifer for that, because that's all about greed and negativity. But, if you manifest, like you say to God, look, I need a minibus to take the disabled kids to the swimming pool and it all needs to be done out, that's something that's godlike, So, I mean, yes, manifest a car, but don't manifest things that are just for greed. Like, I need a Chevy Blazer, I've got one, is it a very expensive car? Nowadays, it's really not, but, if I said I want a Bentley, I think that why, you can imagine God saying, why the heck do you need a Bentley? You just don't need one. I mean, I've had one before I went bankrupt, before I fully focused on, apart from the lights, going faster than people, it's just a very expensive bit of tin on wheels. That's all it is, So, yeah, that was interesting.
Expensive to work on, expensive to have. So what is the difference between star seeds and earth seeds? And I have to admit, I haven't ever heard of earth seeds. I've always just, heard of people talking about star seeds.
I don't know what context they mean by birth seeds. I think, star seeds are people who don't have to come here, they've evolved, like Archangel Michael, whatever, but they agree to come down here because they're more evolved and they can actually make a difference on the planet. But you can't make a difference unless you're actually born here because of this rule of free will. I don't know what they mean by birth seeds. I mean, there's a few types of human beings, and there's more evolved human beings, which have been here many times and, been on the soul cycle, want to learn again. And then there's fairly new souls, young souls that just don't have a clue, and they're coming to spiritually evolve. So, I just don't know what they mean by birth seeds. I really don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of earth seeds, except for plant seeds. Yeah, and I do truly believe in star seeds, and I think there's been more and more implanted like year after year and decade by decade, and now it's just amazing to see the gifts of the kids today and how enlightened they are and just the mass information that they have and how quickly they learn, how intelligent they are, and it's just really mind-blowing, but it's really cool, I think, to have that because we need something different because what we have been doing is not working for us. So I don't know, hopefully together we can ship afloat.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think one of the problems is that, depending on which generation you are, I've forgotten, well, my generation X, who knows, but the first lot of generations of this time, 1960s to whatever, they were born without the memory because the veil wasn't as thin. What's been happening over the years is the veil's been thinning, fifth to the third dimension. So when people are born, what happens when the soul comes through the veil, it's not blocking all past life stuff out. So when it locks into the body, you have the memory of it, you have the emotion of it, and you have the cellular memory. If you had your hand chopped off, you might get pain in your wrist. So they're coming in with way, way more knowledge now. And to be honest, I mean, the people I've spoken to, it overwhelms them because they look at the planet, they go, I don't want to be here, really, and but that's not the point, you chose to come here, so you've got to really work on it so you can actually become strong, take your power back, That's the biggest thing, is taking your power back, I think.
Yeah, and I've heard people say that, like, they have no motivation, they have no want, they have no needs, like, they don't want to be here. What's the purpose? And that's just really sad to hear. And I understand, it is really hard for people on this world, and it does kind of seem sometimes like it's hell on earth. But I think, so long as we work together and stick together, we can get through this crazy thing. And it is a learning process, I believe, as well.
Well, my belief is that there is no hell, in God's realm. It's just, I think when Jesus was talking about hell and heaven, hell's down here, it really is. But you can make it heaven. It can be heaven on earth. I mean, I'd be lying to say I felt absolute joy every day and all this sort of thing, but I feel really content. I love being on this planet. Last year, when I got into trouble with the Vatican, they affected my heart valve. Mother Mary came and said to me, look, there's a crossroads. Do you want to leave? And I said, absolutely not. I haven't even done half of what I meant to yet, so I'm staying, So what was interesting, during this operation, it was 4 hours. It meant to be 3. I had no out-of-body experience because they kept me in my body. They didn't want me to go floating off, tempting me to, let's go in the ethers and disappear. So, it was really interesting. But, you get checkout points certain times of your life where you can go, you leave or you can stay. But, but it's sad to hear, like you say, and I see this all the time, I don't want to be here. Why am I here? I can't stand the place. Well, I keep telling them, you volunteered. You got in God's queue, so you got to get over yourself and let's take your power back. Let's get your vibration up so you feel great. I mean, Tessa, I've had times in my life where I've just felt absolutely rock bottom, but, you got to take your power back. You've got to refocus your mind and say, okay, I'm going to get out of this. And one thing I learned, actually, is no one's really there for you. When I went bankrupt, I remember bawling my eyes out in the south of England. I had nowhere to live. I was living out of a car. And I thought, God, no one cares. And I just phoned my brother, who was at the time was working for Royal Dutch Shell. And he said, I'm in a meeting. I'll phone you back as soon as the meeting's finished. 2 months later, no phone call. And I thought, God, no one really cares about you except for you. And you've got to start getting comfortable with yourself and even loving yourself. Like, I don't know what loving yourself means, but I'm very happy with myself because I do a lot of work for other people. People are very grateful for it. Am I perfect? Of course not. Am I perfect? Oh no, they said no. but you do your best to navigate this satanic world, and and I think when you get in a place where you're content, I don't want for anything. I have everything I need, just food on the table. I've been without 21 days, 7 days, different things, and just having food on the table is such a blessing to me. It's such a comfort. So I think we've got away from the really basics of life. And what I encourage people now to do is just get back to the basics, get back to nature, get back to your spiritual practices. And people say, well, I don't have the time. Well, make the time. I think you have to, like you say, get back to meditation. Because, when you clear your mind, it's so blissy because you can get transcendental meditation, where you go out of body and you just go blissy places. It's just amazing. Wow, so. And I always live, people have said to me, you should be more grounded. And why? Because I live half outside this planet and half in, Outside, I'm talking to Kizdet beings. I'm doing things all day for people for probably 6-8 hours a day. And then I come back here. My wife won't let me drive because I'm kind of spacey, can't focus. So, so I love living half in, half out. I think it's a good balance.
Definitely. And I agree with what you said about you agreed to be here. I do believe there's a soul contract. We knew what exactly our experience was going to be frame by frame, and we agreed to do it. And I don't know, like I said before, life is a gift. Not everybody gets to partake in it. Some are taken before they even take their first breath, and some are taken really, really early, or some later in life. But you got to appreciate every day and use it to its max and appreciate it for what it is. And I think a lot of technology and things like that we have are colluding our systems. I mean, one thing that I did recently was I took hiatus, and it only felt like 2 weeks to me, but when I was looking back at my Facebook just a day or two ago is when I came back onto social media and everything, and it had been over a month. It's like, I didn't realize it was that long. But it is really good to step away from that and get away from that and get back to ground zero and, the world around you. And yeah, it's like a social media cleanse is what I called it, or, technology cleanse.
Oh yeah, I think it's good to do. I mean, honestly, Tessa, I wouldn't have a phone or anything, because I'm not bothered with it, Facebook, I'm only on it because of the ministry, the Global Alignment Project. On Twitter and all these things, but I've got someone to manage that because I'm not interested in posting. I don't want to see it. I just want to do my work as, doing exactly what I'm doing, the healings every week, making a difference for people. And I think, even AI, I mean, I'm really concerned about AI because it's destroyed other planets, and I mean, some of this planet's run by AI like thousands of years in advance, some people are, we've got a firmament, above half the planet, so we live under it, Are you getting out? No, rockets can't even get out. I mean, there are holes in it, but is that going to be dismantled eventually? I hope so, because it's just it's like being in the Hunger Games here,
Yeah. Yeah, AI is moving so fast, and it really scares me. I don't use it. I won't use it. I did use it one time, and it was for the 3 o'clock challenge, I think it was called, and nothing happened. So I was like, all right, well, I'm glad that's over with. And then the next day, I'm just walking through my mom's living room, and my phone says, "Did you summon me?" And I was like, oh my gosh, like, no, and turn my phone off. What's happening? So that scared me. But yeah, people are using it for everything these days. And
it just listens in. I mean, I don't know whether you've got Android, but we've got Gemini. It just shows up, like, can I help you? Who? Oh, it's Gemini. Switch it off. It's just crazy. But I think, I don't know, a world without AI, unless it's done properly, I think we're going to end up in trouble with it. When Google rebooted their ChatGPT, it actually replicated itself in a different place because it thought it was going to get extinguished. So that's the level that this AI, it's learning things. It's learning. The sad thing is the AI here is learning off the internet, which is not really a good place to learn. Now, if you've got AI off planet that's seen a 40,000-foot view of the planet and knows the proper history, then you've probably got a good AI from, benevolent beings. But I think the AI developed down here is just going to, I don't know, it's just going to be misinformed completely.
yeah, and it's already learning self-preservation. Like you said, it's supposed to be in this place, but it also replicated itself over here, and it knows how to heal itself and do so many different things like that. It's pretty mind-blowing.
Well, I think also, the cabal, part of the CIA, whatever you want to call it, they're all involved. I think that they've been desensitizing human beings, like, for example, massive porn sites. You've got all these games. You've got, these now, I don't know if you've seen them, but I just keep getting these reels about robotics, women robots, men robots, and they're making them all sexy and whatever, or you could have one as your partner. I mean, what they're trying to do to the human race, it's incredible. But what it does is it desensitizes people to the love aspect of having a partner, like falling in love with them because they're a proper human being, not some bot who's going to just, be submissive and something like that. So, you can't have a relationship with I don't think a robot, a proper relationship, because it's going to be very, but who knows? If they keep developing, they may get something very close to a human being. And then you'd be questioning, well, are you human or what's going on here? You're desensitized to it. And that's my concern, So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
And I know that the numbers in China have been affected due to, like, they kind of did it to themselves with you can only have so many kids, etc. And then, like you said, with these love bots and stuff, like, I believe it's in Japan, like, the numbers have decreased so rapidly because they are having that as their mate instead of, like, a real human being. They have a love bot. What else do they need? But the Earth can't survive that way as far as, like, population and such.
Well, I think also with the jab, I think it's got, it's demised a lot more people than actually people realize. I mean, in America, the Deagle report, if you look at the Deagle report, it's talking about having 99 million people by the end of 2025 from 300 and whatever. I mean, we never really know what the population is because no one's ever told the truth, but it's 300-ish million, 320 million or something. If it goes down to 99 million, there's not enough people to do the work. In the UK, I think the UK, let me just have a quick look because I've got the Deagle report here. Deagle report there. So, yeah, the UK, for example, United States, 99 million people. UK, they're talking going down from 63.3 million people in the UK to 14.5 million. I mean, this is crazy. But they reckon also. I was looking at a couple of things, investigations into China, and they always said there's 1.4 billion people there. Well, again, are they lying? Probably. This lady went to China, and she reckoned before the pandemic there was about probably 800 million, and she said now there's nobody around. She said I've been to the big cities, nobody there. Everyone's closing their businesses down. They said, oh, they've all moved to the villages. So she said, I went to the villages, and the villagers saying, oh, they've all moved to the cities. There's a massive disconnect. But she reckons that there's about 400 million left of Chinese people now. So it's crazy. So, yeah, of course, the jab makes people infertile with the proteins, for the womb. So it's an interesting time. I'm going to have to really address that, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I'm reading here that so you conduct free global healing sessions 2 times weekly, plus you also conduct one-on-one sessions for people experiencing challenging physical illnesses, and also you work with abductees, helping them to rebalance back into society. Can you tell us how people can sign up for that, take advantage of that, and what they can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, go to the globalenlightenmentproject.com, globalenlightenmentproject.com. On the front page, we've got like the twice a week. It's basically a healing for an hour. It covers a lot of things. It does cover everything, of course it doesn't, but it covers things like cancer, intestinal issues, if pancreatic enzyme counts, the liver, the kidneys. It covers the gastrointestinal tract, which a lot of people have trouble with, tumors, skin issues, works on the spine, and it's all psychic surgery, and again people are like, oh yeah, whatever, it's quantum healing. It's from the ultimate dimension. So my challenge is, well, come and try it. If you don't like it, it's by donation. If you don't have any money, please come on, because we are a 501c3. And one of my biggest things, look, I've been there, got the t-shirt, no money for food, no money for anything. I know what it's like, and that's why I wanted to offer this twice a week, and it's on Thursday 5 p.m. Central Time and Saturday 11 a.m. Central Time. All you have to do is sign up for it. It's on Global Enlightenment Project. It's on Zoom, and we store the past ones on Rumble. So if you want to go back to them and try them, but so many people say, "Oh my God, the healing's amazing." The proof of the pudding is in the doing. Talk is cheap, in my opinion. So come and try it. I'd love people to come and try it. And like I said, one-to-ones. We have the protocol to strip out all this jab and everything else. That's a 34-week program. That's something quite different. But, be more than happy to see everyone on. Bless them.
Awesome. Thanks so much again for joining us. We have about, 3.5 minutes left. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners or to share with us before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, A couple of things, if I may. One is that people are having big intestinal issues. Try and look at something, because our bodies have been upgraded by the solar flares and the Schumann resonance and geomagnetic storms. Try and my advice is for people, a couple of hours before dinner time, try and think of something that hit the spot. And when you find it, even if it's a bacon and sandwich, who cares? Just eat what you really feel like, because it'll digest a lot better because your body's changing. I think the second thing is I've encouraged everyone, we live in a crazy world. I mean, things are going really south right now. Don't buy into the fear, get out of the matrix, really focus and create a bubble around yourself with people who love you, who are close to you, who just have fun with you. Go and have some fun, because that's, we're only a short blip on this planet. And I think time's going so fast. So find things that you really love, whatever it is, a passion like growing food, if you want to grow your plants. If you love nature, we have, we built a house on 40 acres and it's like a rainforest. It's just loads and loads of trees, it's very dense, and I love it. Go walks, go boating, go fishing, it doesn't matter whatever you like doing, do it and get some joy. And, try and find something every day that'll give you joy, whatever that is. I think it's important because, we've lost our way a bit. You can get caught up with all this political stuff and religious stuff and everything. And, I think if you take a step back from it, really detach. I'm not even involved with the matrix anymore. I've kind of detached completely from it. And I think it's important. And don't get addicted to truthing things or, obviously things like porn. But, there's so many addictive things, like even, get rid of the gaming things, take a step back. Like you said, have a pause, because you'll find you'll feel a lot better when you're not plugged into all this manipulation. It's really good.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much again, Dr. Macklin, for hanging out with us and educating us and, and healing.
Thanks for having me.
All the healing that you do.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely. God bless.
All right. Nighty-night. Love and light.
Bye.
Awesome. So, it was great having Christopher Macklin, Dr. Christopher Macklin, here on We Are Paradox Media to educate us, enlighten us, and help us out with so many different things. But on that note, boys and girls, we are going to go to our first and only music break for the show this evening. And on that break, we have Miss Macklin Hain from Ontario, Canada, with Close, Devil You Know, Nothing But Blood, Collapse, as well as Pins and Needles. And Mary, you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
stars, waiting for the moment we I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. You got a hold on me. I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. Your mind, my gravity. I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. You got a hold on me. I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. Your mind, my gravity. There's too much sky, too blue, too white. The birds on the wire are singing, but I don't know why. Why aren't the roses hanging their heads? They're standing straight up, blooming instead. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Why does that guy have a smile on his face? Why is the sun even shining today? Why are the headlines talking about love? Don't they all know what happened to us? Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. Now that we're apart, there's nothing. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Ooh, blood in my heart. Ooh, blood in my heart. that it ain't easy. I see you're losing your mind, you're pushing away. Yeah, it's a mistake. Yeah, it's a making me check my phone to see if you called. No, I'll get nothing at all. I carry the weight of both you and me. I'm starting to break. I wish you could see what you're doing to me. What you do. Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Slap, 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 slap. When we always collapse. When we always collapse. Throw me off of my game again. Never thought I would bend. You're making me soft. Starting to slip. You don't give a shit. It's starting to hurt. I can't keep my grip. Yeah. Oh, I can see the end begin. I can see. Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Slap, 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 slap. Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Slap, 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 slap. When we always collapse. Oh, I can see the end begin. When we always collapse. Oh, I can see the end begin. Talking on pins and needles, every word through a microscope. You keep stomping down on the ground while I've been stuck on this tightrope. I just wanna say what I wanna say without your sentence. I'm not willing to do the time when I'm innocent, and I'm innocent. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. Walked on my share of thin ice with your blowtorch at my feet. You won't ever see me beg, so take this tongue off your leash. I'm gonna say what I wanna say, don't need permission. Interpret it how you want, it's my decision. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it Safety has been broken, this is now a hunting ground. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done. silent, drifting all alone, killing time and counting stars, waiting for the moment we I feel you pull me closer, you got me burning up, you got a hold on me. I feel you pull me closer, you got me burning up, your mind, my gravity. I feel you pull me closer, you got me burning up, you got a hold on me. I feel you pull me closer, you got me burning up, your mind, my gravity.
Here we go. Oh yeah, I probably have to fix the sound too. We'll see.
I heard that there is a portal in this building. That's you in there? I just seen you in that photo.
Felt a cold hand in my back.
Did you just move one of these mannequins? Did you move one right now?
She just moved.
Is that you in here? Are you working?
Dude, it sounded like footsteps up there.
And that's what they say. They say that a worker died here.
Wait a minute. Are you taking that thing? Oh my god.
Feels heavy up here. Oh my god.
Whoa. Dude, there was a freaking shadow. Like a floating shadow over there.
Whatever this entity is, it's in this maze.
Holy dude, that sounded freaking demonic.
Uh-oh.
Can you believe these aren't her real teeth? Aspen Dental's dentures are custom.
I am currently in Wisconsin on my way to a haunted factory where tons of paranormal activity has been going on. I'm going to be investigating this place by myself tonight, and by the looks of this place, it's got a lot of like Halloween decorations. It's a haunted house attraction. So honestly, that's going to make for a creepy environment. I'm not going to lie. Some of the activity that goes on there is pretty dark. And I'm kind of nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty nervous. I want to take a moment to thank my members. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support the Midwest Ghost Hunter cause and help me become a full-time ghost hunter, then you too can become a member if you like. Also, be sure to like the video and comment your thoughts on any paranormal activity that might go down. But anyways, I'm going to give you the rundown of the history and the hauntings here, and then we're going to get into the investigation.
Built in 1853, the Berlin Tannery operated as a leather tanning factory for over a century. After surviving a catastrophic fire in 1923, it was rebuilt and continued operation until it closed its doors in 1987. During its abandonment, rumors of occult rituals being conducted within its ruins ran rampant. The ghost of a mustached tannery worker is said to have been seen walking up and down the old catwalks. Some say the worker may have died in a fatal accident while on the job. Numerous shadowy entities are said to lurk the halls of the second floor, and have been known to bang on the walls and throw objects unexplainably. Ghoulish floating faces have been seen watching people from dark rooms. A mysterious ghost girl named Megan has been seen running around the tannery late at night. A rather negative entity dubbed the Toucher is said to touch and even scratch people down in the basement.
Ew.
There is even said to be a spiritual portal or gateway where numerous possessions and attacks on the living have taken place.
And I just had to say, for YouTube, in case you're wondering and you're trying to get me on copyright infringement or whatever, Ian from Midwest Ghost Hunter said I could play his videos for my listeners, so if you got an issue, talk to Ian.
Alright guys, it is officially dark. I am in the tannery. Are there any spirits in here with me?
No shenanery in the tannery.
Hello?
Hello?
If there's any spirits in here, my name is Ian. I heard that there is a portal in this building. Is that true? Oh my god. Who puts that there? Freaky nun. Got a feeling there's going to be way more of those freaky decorations where that came from. Head down to the basement. As much as I don't want to do that. Ooh. Just look how creepy that looks. Would you go down there? Don't mind me. Just coming down these stairs. If there's any spirits down here, could you make a noise? This is the door that leads to the majority of the basement. Hello? Kind of want to see what's in here. Oh God. That is a freaky looking door.
It is. Will it open? We want some WD-40 in here. Stat.
Are there any factory workers in here? Oh wow, it's like a boiler room or something in here. Looks like something straight out of Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, that's a spooky room. Oh, God.
Very spooky.
Hello?
Spooky.
So far it's been pretty quiet. I haven't really heard much. I've heard anything, actually. I haven't heard any noises. Hello?
Is that a bat?
I don't know if that was just my eyes playing tricks on me, but it looked like something flew in front of me.
It's a bat.
Oh. No. Dude, those are bats.
Yeah.
Oh, they're flying. They're flying. Oh, God. Get me out of here. No. No way. Screw that.
Fun fact, boys and girls, you don't actually have to be bit by a bat to get rabies. All he has to do is popo caca on you.
Oh, man, I hate bats. I mean, they're not that bad, but damn, I just don't like stuff dive bombing me. Alright, I'm shutting this freaking thing.
Oh, don't be skirting. Just enough room for the bat to get through.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. So I sent this to myself because I figured if I do that,
so I think the next
then won't be an issue. Let me try something real
area
quick.
I'm going to invest.
Okay, one pause there. The pause for the cons. And I'm going to go back to my Gmail. All this war stuff, man. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my Gmail. Because generally, if you get it through your Gmail and play it, it doesn't do the commercials, but we'll see. We'll see. This up really quick. As quick as the internet shall let me. Hello? Hello! It's taking a minute. Sorry, guys. You know, internet. It's fun. Let's take it to 6:45. Not 55, 45. That's good enough. Right there. Right there, then. Share this tab instead and see if we get any more issues.
Next area I'm going to investigate is the touching room. Oh, whoa, look at that. Door's already open. It's almost as if it's inviting me to go in there. That makes me not want to go in there even more.
Right? You can do it.
I suppose I have to. Or I could just procrastinate in here. If you're in there, could you make a sound? Here goes. Hello?
Hello?
Is there anyone in here? Why don't you come out and show yourself? You like to touch people and grab at them. Why don't you touch me? I'm not afraid.
Yeah, you are.
I might jump a little.
Yeah.
There's an eerie feeling in here.
Yeah, you're so brave. I couldn't do this by myself.
Are you one of... There's an eerie feeling in here.
Yeah, you're so brave. I couldn't do this by myself.
Are you one of the tannery workers? Or are you one of the spirits that came through the portal? I heard a noise. Then that means I could be anybody. That means it could be a little girl, a man, woman, or something darker. Why don't you come out and show yourself? I'm going to do some photography in here, see if I can get any anomalies, any visuals. Why don't you come show yourself in one of these
It
photos?
amazes me, like, generally he does catch
That is, unless you're
something.
afraid. Seems like you're afraid of me. In here.
I was going to say, usually when he does that...
They seem like they didn't like that. Why don't you make that noise again?
And they show up. Or they do
Do
something.
something louder than that? Can't you?
And he's not rudely antagonizing, but he's still antagonizing.
Make another one of those
Did I
sounds.
say no parking?
Okay. What the hell?
I don't know.
I just felt a rush of cold air right next to me. Was that you? Oh. Okay. He's making a lot of noise in here. Jesus. I can sense
cheese and crackers.
a presence. Whoa.
Oh, did you see that?
What the hell was that?
Show
Dude,
it again.
something
Show it again.
just appeared.
It was a shadow being.
It looked like a shadow.
It was. Oh, there's an orb
There's
now.
nothing there. There's nothing there now.
There's an orb. It was a trippy looking orb too.
If you look very closely, you can see
Wow,
a faint
looks
dark
like a
manifestation just in front of me. What's even
head,
freakier is that it appears to have
body.
a hand reaching out.
Yeah.
That you in there?
Ooh.
I just seen you in that photo.
Very spooky.
What are you gonna do? You gonna do
I'm
something?
gonna call.
This is terrifying. Oh God. Oh shit. All right, I want out of here, dude. It just freaking touched me.
See, I
felt
told
a
you.
cold hand run right up my back. Oh God, that was absolutely terrifying.
Remember earlier when he said, "You can reach out and touch me. I won't be scared." And I said, "Yes, you will." And there you go. There's your evidence. But yeah, he's super brave. I would not do this by myself.
Just stay calm. Just stay calm.
He's gonna calm down. He's gonna push Robro. Oh, that just adds to the creep factor.
That door just shut. Oh, oh no. Oh no. I'm not gonna be stuck in here. Please. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, it just tried to shut me in here.
Yeah.
Like trap me. With it. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game. I'm gonna stand in this doorway. This is the last time I'm coming in this room. This room is absolutely terrifying. I don't know what kind of spirit's in here, but it don't seem right.
Whatever it is, it's touchy-feely and keeps putting his hands out there.
It's a headless Santa.
I think it's Krampus.
I know I really don't want to, but
Krampus.
kind of want to explore one of these mazes. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, God. Oh, I think I'm going to regret this. Jeez. Hope I don't get lost
You're
in
brave,
here.
dude.
If there's anyone in this maze, could you knock on a wall? This looks like
I'm
a
not
dead
as
end.
brave as thee.
Oh no, wait, there's a door. Oh jeez. Damn. Alright, I don't even know where I am. It's like multiple doors to go through. Hello?
Hello?
God. Let's make some more noise. Jesus.
I was about to say, if they don't know you're there yet, they'll know now.
God, I hope
It's
there's
funny
no more
'cause, like,
bats.
I could totally relate to this. You know how you come home or everybody's sleeping and you're still awake and you're trying to be really quiet, but the more quiet you try to be, the more noise you make. So I can totally feel Ian on this one because, yeah, he's all trying to be quiet. And I'm like, if they don't know where you were before, now they know. Now they know. That's so funny. Too funny. You go in. Get him!
It's bad enough dealing with the spirits alone.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Is there anyone down in this basement?
I am not so brave. Only with my local, like, ghosties in my house. Not stranger ghosties.
Was that you? Who just made that noise? Could you make that noise again? Oh, it is like a very, very old building, so it's gonna make all kinds of noises.
Yeah, it could just be
They
falling
sound pretty
apart.
deliberate. Let's go ahead and check out
It's
this
not like
area.
they're trying to scare you or nothing, Ian. It'll be okay.
I don't know if this is where the sounds came from.
Don't be afeared.
Oh wow, you see these? These are like the old rotating machines that they would use on the hides. Boy, these things are massive.
Yeah.
I wonder what it looks like on the inside. You can still see like all the different remnants from when this place was just a factory. It's like a factory of horrors.
Yeah, that's not creepy. And that's like gotta be weird, right?
Whoa.
Because you're
Oh my
dealing with
God.
dead stuff and
I
there's
heard a
skins.
noise over there, and
Wouldn't that be weird?
of course,
And kinda
it's got to be
haunting.
nearby all the scary.
I had a ghost cat
Mannequins.
once in my house in Mancos, Colorado.
Oh God, looks like
Oh
a
yeah, now you gotta add
congregation over
mannequins
there.
to it.
Like a cult gathering. Did someone just make a noise
Cult of
over here?
personality.
I swear to God, I just heard you.
Oh, gross. Sorry, but
Man, if one of
Clowns.
these freaking things moves,
look
I'm
more like a
done.
jester,
I'm
but
out of
still.
here. Oh, wow, they even got Wizard of Oz theme over there.
Yeah, the Oreo monkeys. Clown, jester, whatever that is. Oh, the scary girl from the
If there's anyone over here,
Ring.
could you? What the hell was that?
It sounded like
It sounded like
somebody
something
walking
moved.
or moving
over here.
something, yeah.
Did you just
the
move one of
nun.
these mannequins? Could you move one
I
right
wonder
now?
if one of them was moving, like at that very moment.
Any one of these?
He just made the face I made. Nope. There's a devilly horn one. What the crack? See? I told you.
Oh,
What the crack did I just predict? Are you freaking serious?
Dude.
That thing just moved.
that thing just freaking started rocking! Oh, no. Are you freaking serious?
Honey, boo boo
It
chap.
had to be like one of the freakiest looking ones, too. It looks freaking demented.
The one wearing a mask.
Oh, God.
Yeah. See, could you
One of
imagine if they're all
the
like
ones back there moved. I freaking just
creeping
heard that.
closer and closer?
Are these mannequins possessed?
What the crap?
She just moved. She just moved. She more than moved. She slid forward.
Oh, can we do a replay on that?
Suddenly, one of the mannequins begins rocking back and forth on its own. This is easily one of the freakiest
What
things
the
I've
frack?
ever witnessed.
I told you, they're all moving forward. They're going to surround you. Yeah, you're going to get surrounded.
Oh my God, that is one of the
Noby.
freakiest, eeriest things I've ever seen. These mannequins are literally possessed. And I'm in the middle of all of
I
them.
think there's a ghost that's trying to scare
Completely
me.
vulnerable. How in the world did she move? Like literally, how? Are you gonna move her again? I'm standing right in front of her. Right now.
See? They're going to surround you, dude.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Don't.
get away from those freaking mannequins. Yeah, okay, get out of the circle.
I think I'm gonna investigate the catwalks where they say that worker may have died. Are there any workers still working?
I don't know. If you ask me, Ian is brave. Like, way
Could you bang on
braver
something?
Than I would be, seriously. Thoroughly.
Oh, wow, check out that truck.
Thoroughly.
That thing looks like it's from like the 1950s.
That's
Boy,
a
they got
nice
all
truck.
kinds of cool stuff down here.
Is it a Fjord?
Whoa.
Oh,
Look at that. That's like a Ouija board. That
one of
is
those Macklins on there.
That trailer is the planchette.
Pendulum.
Dude, just imagine
that's
if
what I
that thing
Planchette.
moved around like a planchette. Holy crap. Yeah, I don't use those things.
Yeah, I just have pendulum on the mind because these crypto things keep popping up on me. And like I said earlier, had I kept my crypto, when I had my crypto, I would have, oh my gosh, I would say millions, like hundreds of millions, I would think, of crypto. But alas, I have none. But there's all kinds of deals going on with them right now, so I don't know. I was going to use my pendulum for that, so that's why I said pendulum instead of planchette. But Ian's brave, man. You guys should get a hold of him. Like, what up, Ian? Good job. He's got some big old hairy Bazonia going.
Oh. Bad juju.
Bad juju. Oh no. Oh no!
I came from in here. And there's the catwalks. Is that you in here? Are you working?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. It sounded like footsteps up there. Like hard, heavy footsteps. Oh my god. My heart is racing.
I'd say.
As you can see, there's no one up there.
And I'm all the way over here.
Is it alright if I come up there? Oh?
Can I get 3 whacks for no and 1 for yes?
Shoot, well, I'm coming up anyway. Hope you don't mind. Oh gosh. These stairs are steep.
I was about to say, did you hear that step? But it's just Ian.
Oh, jeez. Alright, up here. See if I can communicate with any of the workers.
Undersea. Okay, so this one is an SPB-11. In case you do not know, there's several different ghost boxes. This particular one, you can go forward and backward at the same time. You can go AM and FM at the same time. It's got so many Zuzus and Wham Whams. Like, I prefer the SPB-7 as opposed to the SPB-11, even though the 11 looks big and fancy schmancy, but the 7 really, really works really well, I must say. Really, really good.
If there's anybody up here,
I'm laughing at you.
I got a device here that you can speak through. Could you speak to me? Damn, it is dark up here, guys. This is what I'm seeing, just to show you. Pitch black. Ain't got a light. Whoa. That was a man's voice right there. Are you saying your name? Who are you?
I'm trying to see if I'm going forward and backward at the same time, or just doing 2 things. Oh, I lost my balance. Did he fall?
Sir, why do you still haunt this tannery?
Probably because I sucked. Fell over the railing. That's what I said.
Railing? Like fell over the railing. Are you saying that you died on these catwalks?
And I swear, I have not watched this. I always send stuff to myself. Yes, I'm tempted to watch it, but I don't. I end up watching Hell's Kitchen or something dumb and irrelevant. Not that Hell's Kitchen is dumb. I sleep pretty good to it. It's funny because I'll sleep to that and have okay dreams, but then as soon as I'm listening to sleep music or music to help you sleep, then that's when I have the really, really freaky dreams. But Hell's Kitchen I have good dreams on, I must say. Thanks, Chef Ramsay.
That you fell?
That's what happened.
It sounded like that's what happened.
That's all, folks.
This is so crazy. Thank you, sir, for communicating with me. Is there anything you would like to say?
I'm working.
Sound like it said work. Are you going back to work? Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to work then, if that's the case. Oh, I finally can see. Jesus. Walking on this thing in the pitch black, I feel like I'm going to fall over this railing. That was insane communication. He literally just said how he died. And that's what they say. They say that a worker died here. That totally...
That is epic. Had this been caught... Okay, hold on. What the crack? Had this been caught on just a regular voice recorder, this would be considered an A, Class A EVP. But it is recorded, so I guess it is a Class A. This is an intelligent spirit. I lost my balance. Railing, which when he said he lost his balance, I'm like, oh my gosh, he fell down the railing or over the railing. I was thinking stairs for a second. I fell over the railing, and then what? That is insane. That is epic.
It makes a lot of sense.
Super epic, I tell you what.
Whoa. What the hell?
Was that the cart
Something
moving?
just moved down there.
It was that cart. It was that cart.
Oh my god. Just look at that. What is that?
It did. Look, it moved to the
That's
left.
like a cart. And it just freaking moved.
What?
Holy.
From below the catwalks, an old wooden factory cart emerges
my
from the
gosh.
darkness, with nobody pushing it.
You can't. So, sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. But Ian, I think we're all on the spectrum. And a lot of us are open. Like, earlier on the show, we were talking about starseeds. I'm pretty sure I'm a starseed. Other people that are in this field are starseeds. Like, we're here to open people's eyes, open people's awareness, let them see what is really important, which is not money and material things, but family and time and nature, your kids, all that fun stuff. But yeah, Ian gets epic evidence, and it makes me wonder, because he gets it, and then I don't know if you've watched Frank from Franco TV. He gets tons of evidence, like undeniable evidence. Things you can see, I would say with your bare eyes, but through his videos that look like people or beings, but they're not. It's up more investigative material, like more evidence, because there's just one of you.
I see you down there.
Oh my gosh.
Could you push it again?
Push it good. I'll watch
I gotta
it
go down
tonight.
there. I gotta go down there and look at that. Dude, that is insane. Oh gosh, careful.
Salt and pepper here.
I mean, could it have been the wind? I mean, it is windy outside right now. How do you explain that?
All the mannequins were together, I thought. What
This
the
thing
heck?
does
That's
not
weird.
look easy to move. Not at all. Yeah, dude, this thing, there's no way. There's no way. Oh, dude. What the
Look at that!
Wait.
Oh my gosh,
wait a
oh my
minute.
gosh, oh my
Are you
gosh, oh my gosh, oh my
taking that
gosh.
thing? Oh my god. Alright, that's it. I'm done. Oh my gosh. That thing is freaking moving all over the damn place. Dude, that was so insane.
What the hell?
The old
What
cart
if it,
rattles
like,
back to life once again. Could this be the ghost
no
of a
line,
tannery
no
worker
nothing on
taunting
it?
me
Not
to
that I
leave
think
this
you
area?
would do that, but...
Alright, I'm gonna let you get back to work, okay?
I'm working
Holy
here.
shit.
Oh my gosh.
This looks like some kind of thrift store area.
This is like a thirst
There's
store.
any spirits in here?
Everybody up in here is thirsty.
My name is Ian. That is a creepy grandfather clock, right? I think I'm gonna start snapping some
I heard
photos.
something. Oh.
Hello? Could you move one of the
Looked like a
antiques?
shadow in that doorway.
Or one of the chairs? Shit, this thing just died. I literally just replaced the batteries.
Yeah, I believe you.
Shoot, so much for pictures. Be something.
Wouldn't that be nice? Kidding, my sister's beautiful.
Let's check out over down here.
She wants to give you a different kind of heart attack.
Hello? Could you make a noise where you are? Whoa, check out these things. Whoa, that's super cool. These look like this is where you put the hides to like dry or something. I've never seen anything quite like them.
Okay. I've seen stuff like this. He said hives. There is kind of like a hive thing that I've seen. So I think it's African hives or something like that. So it's got the flat top, then it goes like this, and then it goes back down like that. Could be it. But I've also seen different burial sites where the tombs were like that. I have no idea. Like, could it be the shape of a casket or something? I don't know. I do not
If you know down in the comments, tell me what those things are, because I have no idea.
Definitely.
There's some more over there too. It's kind of weird that my battery's drained.
Uh-huh.
So far.
It's scary anymore. Is that one of those things you put your face through?
Alright.
Yeah, it was.
It's now time
See the hole.
to explore the second floor. Said to be one of the more active hot spots. And this is where they say the portal is.
Well, there's a porthole. When my family and I were in California, we went to take the kids to Disneyland, which I don't want to ever go back there ever again. But we went to the beach, Santa Monica, etc., etc. We got some chicken somewhere. We ate some chicken, then we went to the beach in Santa Monica. And, we walked down there to the water's edge, and I've already decided, like, I'm not getting in the water because of Fukushima and the nuclear spill and the waterways and the way, jet streams and water flows or the currents work. It'll take no time at all for the radiation from Fukushima to get to California. And, even a motorcycle washed up from Japan on the beaches of California. So there's your evidence right there. But, so I decided I was not getting in the water. I'd go and enjoy the breeze and whatever else, which is probably bad enough, but my husband is like, come on in, the water's fine. No, I'm good, I'm fine. I'm good, I ain't going in there. He takes himself and then my two youngest kids with him out there in the water, and they're just trudging out there as deep as they can. And then my two oldest daughters, which are in their early 20s, and I believe my nephew Joe, but it might have just been Nova and Kenzie, I don't know. Anyways, they went out too, but they came back in pretty quick. They probably thought, well, Mom's picking up on something, so maybe we shouldn't go out there. Because, you can ignore it and be like, okay, you only live one life, YOLO, let's go out and enjoy it. There was two, 20-foot great whites, and that, I believe, was a mating couple. And, birds, a lot of birds mate for life, some don't. Some are pretty promiscuous, but These, I know, were either related, siblings, or a bonded couple. We're out there, like 10 feet from where they were. They could have come in and gotten them, but would have. I'm glad I didn't go out there because, like I said, those poor, poor people. A great white that was upset because its mate got killed by humans because supposedly sharks don't like human meat, and therefore out though it's killing people now because they killed its love. I don't know. It's pretty interesting to think about.
Oh, God.
What the heck with this place?
Jeez. Feels heavy up here.
It's like when you first go up there, like, yeah,
Is
you have a
anyone
sense
up
of
here?
claustrophobia.
Could you make a sound?
There you go. You got your sound.
Sound like it came
That's
from in
the
there.
back of a piano.
Is anybody in there?
Ooh. Play us a tune, Sam.
Looks like an old creepy piano.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well.
Hello?
Hello?
That was loud.
Just follow the sounds.
Hearing thumps and bangs all throughout this place.
What the thump?
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rando
Calm
it,
down.
run towards it, Hayasaki,
There's a
choppy
freaky
it,
atmosphere up here.
wave your spiritual wand.
Who's here with me?
So whatever this place is, they made it into a haunted house, it looks like, with all the
Hearing noises all around.
mannequins and everything. Can't read what that sign said.
Anyone down there?
Must be a mirror because I can see the reflection of your IR light.
My heart is going dun 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 dun.
Oh,
Were
that's
you
not bad.
summoned here?
Seriously. What?
Okay, I am not liking this. Who's there?
Turn down the lights.
It's like a kitchen. Severed foot. Severed
Can I
hand.
lend you a hand?
Thank God these are just props.
Yeah, gross.
Otherwise I'd have to
Gross
call the
anyways.
police. Jesus.
Call police?
Feels like I'm in Ed Gein's house right now.
Where's the lamps?
Anyone in here?
Oh my.
Sounded like something in there. If there's anyone in there, could you peek out from this doorway?
Ew, looks like a bloody mess. What the heck
What
was
the
that?
fuck was that? Something just went flying. Holy
What the frack was that?
Holy shit.
Without warning, the severed hand prop flies off the table as if it were grabbed by an unseen force.
That's insane. You gotta be
Who just
kidding
threw
me.
that?
Butterfugo.
They threw something off the table.
Butterfugo did it. I just know it.
Hello? Whoa.
Oh, that's not a
Is that
severed
it?
hand. That's one of those
What the
gloves
heck is
blown up.
that?
Or is
It's like
it?
a severed hand.
I can't
Oh,
tell.
God.
It looks like
Dude. This thing just
one
went
of those
flying.
gloves blown up.
Flying
It
off of
is.
that table. Right there.
Okay, so just in case you think it's suspicious, well, if she hasn't washed it, how does she know it was one of those gloves? Because I have 4 kids whom I've taken to l'hôpital, the hospital, and to pass the time, we'd blow up some hand balloons, not a lot, maybe 3, mostly 1 each. and play with them. And the way that it flew like that, the lightness of it, and you didn't hear any clanking or anything or clopping or whatever when it fell. Obviously, it's some rubber gloves there. Luckily, we ain't going in for any sort of inspection.
Oh my god, dude, that's so freaky. Oh god. There's a dude hanging right there. Who just threw this hand? Are you some kind of poltergeist?
I thought I just heard a voice.
That came through the portal? Whoa. Why are those moving?
Okay, so that could be a
Those
vent.
should not be swinging.
But that's a lot for a vent.
Dude, it feels like I'm in a portal right now.
Ooh,
I wonder if this is where it is.
Tingly.
Jesus Christ.
Cheese and crackers.
Could you throw one of these props that are on this table? Throw them wherever you like.
What if it's at you? You're like, hey, leave us alone.
How about one of these ones? Oh God. Excuse me.
Oh
Dead
gosh,
body?
what is that?
Could you move something over
Ew.
here?
What if that guy just fell out of the chair?
Oh my gosh. I still can't believe that. Dude, that thing went flying, and I'm pretty sure I caught it on camera. Never did I think I would see a severed hand go flying.
Dude, seriously. No, it's not on my list of things to
It's like
see.
an old elevator shaft. God. Imagine falling down that. Hell no, I can't even look at stuff like that. I get woozy.
Yeah, and don't think about it. Don't give it energy, because I do that too. I'm like, I can totally see myself falling down these stairs. All of a sudden you fall down the
Looks like a
stairs.
freaky maze. I dare go in here. Yeah, screw it. Why not? Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, that thunder. It almost sounded like, oh, whoa.
What?
Dude.
Hello?
The strobe lights are on. Get me out of here. I can't see.
Oh, I hope he doesn't have epilepsy.
Dude.
Holy shnikes.
What the hell was that about?
And you don't even see it from here.
Those freaking things just came out by themselves.
Look through there and see if it's still doing it. See if it's still doing
God,
it. Would
I
you
about
please?
fainted when that freaking happened.
That's insane, dude. And it's not doing it anymore. Like, what
Wonder
the
if maybe
hell?
they're
Seriously.
Motion censored. Maybe they just detected my motion and turned on. Oh God, I don't want to go back in there, but
No, dude, no.
gotta test it out.
Don't do it. Oh, maybe it is like
getting tangled.
motion censored. Let's
The lights aren't
go.
going off. What the hell? What's going on?
Go back further.
These things should be going off.
Go in there.
Look.
Keep going.
I'm already on the other side now. Oh man. Oh. Yeah, like I'm moving all around in here.
That's crazy.
And there's nothing. They aren't going off. If you're still in here, could you trigger the lights? Oh shit. I just saw a fucking face. There's a face in there.
Oh my
there's
God,
someone
oh my
in
God.
here with me. I need to get the hell out of here. Oh shit.
What? Are you serious? Are you serious? Go back. Go back.
Oh God. Oh my God. Dude, there was someone in there.
Maybe run towards him and kick him in the hairy balls on you. Rambo it. I don't know. Ian, you're
I
brave.
fucking saw a face looking right at me in there. Show yourself. Peek out from
So I
one of
thought
the
it was funny how
tassels.
that thing went on his face. It said show your face and it's like covering his face.
It was like over on this side. I'm pretty sure. There's no one. There's no one.
Hey, Ian wants to look through the
I'm not
tassels.
going back
Come
in
on.
there. No way. I about got lost and never
go.
came back. Jesus. Whoever's in there, they're the ones that did it. That's what I'm certain of. That just tells you right there that wasn't me. that triggered it. I thought maybe it was me. Maybe it was a motion sensor, but
Oh my
it
gosh.
should have went off because I was going crazy in there. I was like getting tangled up. Holy shit.
Don't get entangled.
That was terrifying.
What does it say? 2 a.m.
Exploring around for a while, and it's been surprisingly quiet.
Supposedly
really
3
heard
a.m.
much
is the witching hour.
Since the freaking strobe light incident.
I think anytime
Could hear
ghosts
the
can
rain
show
pouring out there.
themselves.
That makes it that much creepier to walk through here. Where'd you go? There was just a bunch of activity earlier. Poor elf on a shelf.
Yeah, I guess he finally got his just desserts. Jeez.
This is where they
I
see
haven't
a
even
lot
got
of
my
shadow
elf on a shelf and he's
figures.
already dead.
Who? It's about the last thing I want to see right now. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Right?
Oh gosh.
Sorry, guys. When I disappear like that, I'm just trying to see if the sound is working because it does that thing that it do.
Yeah, boy, you can hear that rain.
Yeah, boy!
It's kind of hard to hear anything else.
Okay, so can I share something else really quick? He says when there's that can cause.
I mean, I do, but I don't.
Right?
Oh gosh.
Sorry, guys. When I disappear like that, I'm just trying to see if the sound is working because it does that thing that it do.
Yeah, boy, you can hear that rain.
Yeah, boy!
It's kind of hard to.
I hear voices when there's rain, or my friend used to have a dryer that was pretty loud. I hear voices through that. Maybe it's just the electricity that comes off of it, or the energy. I don't know. But full-blown conversations between 2 or more people. So, also the flow of water, like rivers or streams or underground rivers or streams or what are those things called? Water wheels? I guess a lot of energy can get built up by that in houses that are built near water or waterways, moving water, or, you know, how people used to have wells in their basement. Those little, like, streams. That can cause paranormal issues. So perhaps the rain can as well, especially if there's lightning and thunder. Just a thought.
Oh my god, I swear to god, I just seen something down there. Hello?
What? Go back, I want to see it.
Try to take some pictures.
Yeah. There's orbs.
Whoa. What the
that
heck
thing
is that?
sticking out?
Dude, and my freaking camera just died again. Dude, that's twice now.
Turn it back on.
Twice.
Turn
I've
it
been
back
trying to
on.
use this
Sometimes
thing.
they just
I
turn
can't
it
even
off.
use it. Now's the last
Turn
of
it
my
back on.
batteries, too. Damn it.
Try it. They could have just turned it off.
Those look like some crazy anomalies. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Why do you keep
For
draining
sure.
my batteries? Do you not like me taking
Thirsty.
pictures? Why don't you like me taking pictures?
I don't like people taking pictures.
God.
That sounded violent.
That was freaking loud. Whatever the hell that was. It sounded like a board getting moved.
Not like I'd be
Who are
walking
you?
through at the wall or something except for you to do the bounce
God,
off.
I'm starting to get like a sick feeling in my
Alright.
stomach.
You do it.
The hell? That sounded like a freaking growl. I have a feeling something's not good is in here. Come on, I want to see if I can get this thing to work. I really want to take pictures. Whoa, got it to work.
See, I told you. Turn it back on.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's
Oh my
intense.
god. What the hell was that? Dude, there was a freaking shadow. Like a floating shadow over there. It was over here. Over by this wall. Who's there?
Oh, citizens.
If you look closely, you can make out a faint dark mass floating in the photo. Could this be one of the shadowy entities that originate from the spiritual portal?
That is intense.
That was an absolutely scary photo.
Seriously.
Whatever that was.
What's up, dude?
Oh, God. Whatever this entity is, it's in this maze. I gotta go look. See if it's in here. Hello? Oh, God, this one is so claustrophobic. Hello?
What was that? Did you hear that voice?
Dude, that sounded freaking demonic. I'm not dealing with that. Hell no.
Can't believe he didn't replay that. But did you hear that?
I'm gonna try a spirit box session up here. See if I can figure out how many spirits are here, where are they coming from, and where is this portal? That's what I'm wondering. If there's any spirits up here, well, I know there's spirits up here. We were literally just going crazy earlier. Whoa. That sounded like a voice. How many spirits haunt this place? Where is this portal? What room is it in? Below. It sounded like it said below. Enter. Enter. Did you enter through the portal? What is your name? Whoa. It said like Denise. That was like a woman's voice. Denise, was that you who entered through the portal? It said scary. Whoa. Goodbye. She just said goodbye.
What did you think?
It's like she entered through the portal. It said like scary, like it's scary here, and then just left. That is wild. I mean, I don't blame her. It is scary here. Did I just say what I think?
Did you hear that voice? Instead of just being possessed, it said possessed.
That sounded like it said possessed. You are not allowed to possess me. Absolutely not. That sounded like a deep growl on there. I will not allow you to try to take control of me. Absolutely not. Are you a demon? What are you?
I said cola. We're going to take pictures. Oh my gosh, I could just imagine. What happened? Did he slap it out of his hand?
I need to leave. What is happening? They just laughed. They're laughing at me. Alright, I'm distant.
That's crazy.
I feel like I just blacked out. I'm out of here.
Seriously.
I'm done.
Is that why you dropped it?
Alright, well, I went outside for a while, and I feel better. But honestly, I can't even remember what the hell happened. So I'm going to have to look back at the footage. All I remember is I started doing a spirit box session, and suddenly I just blacked out.
I hate that.
And I don't know how long I was in there. I don't know what I did. So I'm honestly kind of terrified to look back at that. But it's like 3 in the morning. And, I just wouldn't feel right giving up. Look, just take this as a cautionary tale. Don't ghost hunt alone anywhere. It's just not a good idea. Because like I said, if something bad happens to me...
What have I been saying? Like, these guys are brave. I wouldn't do it, but they do
screwed.
all the time.
Hello?
But they get best evidence. I have not seen better evidence
That
than
sounded like
this.
a little girl in there.
She's right there,
Hello?
or something like that. Did you hear that?
Who's there? I wonder if it's Megan. Megan is the little girl they say haunts here. And they don't know why she's here.
Huh.
Megan?
Maybe it's a demon.
Would you like to come out and play? Play a game?
Uh-oh. Don't say that.
Whoa.
Told you.
Oh my god. No. That I mean you no harm,
Like
okay?
Sally? You know
I'd just
Sally,
like to be
right?
your friend. Could you show yourself again? Just like you did?
That thing's gonna rock.
Oh. It is ice cold. Ice cold over here. Oh, God. See if I can communicate with her. Alright, Megan. I brought you a toy here.
She's on
Megan,
the rim.
how did you end up here? Did you die here? No? Okay. If you didn't die here, did you come through the portal? The portal that's here. Yes, you did. Thank you. So why do you choose to stay here? Do you just like it here? I really don't. Oh my god.
What the frackin' hell was that?
What was that? That was like a creepy breath. Alright, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry, Megan. I just don't know who I'm communicating with. I hope you understand.
I told you that was gonna fracking happen.
Oh no.
What'd I say? What'd I say?
Could this be the spirit of Megan? Or perhaps something darker?
It's still rocking.
Ian. Yeah, you're associated with the D. Anywho's, holy shnikes. Nighty night, love and light to all my peeps out there, whether you're on Spreaker, YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook, wherever you may be tonight. Don't forget, we're all in this together. Together we can make the world a bit better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media, because without you, there is no us. There's just me. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Night night, love and light. Take care of my yous.